Hey guys, Nick with Okanagan Detailing here. Today we are going to go over how to install a windshield coating on your vehicle. So we're going to be taking Gyeon View, which is a consumer grade product. You can buy it at any online retailer. I'll put links in the video or in the description below. And what you're going to do to start with is make sure obviously that your vehicle's clean. Ideally you will have done like a strip wash, so when you wash the vehicle, just use a little bit stronger soap than you normally would, and then it's ideal to wipe the windshield down with a prep solution. If you don't do that, it's not that big a deal because in the kit you have Cleanse, which is a cleaner for the windshield that you put on before the coating, and then you'll have Repel, which is the coating itself. Here you have a foam block, some suede cloths, and then at the very bottom you have a pad with rayon on it. So what this is a material that's used when you're polishing glass. So you take the rayon pad and the Cleanse, which has abrasives in it, and it will scrub the windshield clean, take off anything that's kind of stuck in there. If you have anything like sap, this isn't going to do the trick. You need to remove that beforehand. But if you have a relatively clean windshield, all you need to do is use the Cleanse. So step one is going to be put the Cleanse on the rayon pad and give the windshield a good scrub. Let that sit on there for 20 minutes, and then we will get on to putting on the first layer of Repel. So what they recommend is 3 layers of Repel with 20 minutes in between each one. So we're going to get to the Cleanse portion, and I'll show you exactly how it goes on. So the Cleanse does have a whole bunch of abrasives in it, so give it a good shake beforehand, just so they're not all sitting at the bottom. And then you're going to put a good amount on there. And then you're just going in circles over the windshield. It does dry up on you, so I like to spread it out on a section. And then go over it one more time just to get a good scrub in, and then apply a little bit more product, and do it again. So once you've applied this product to the whole windshield, you gotta do a lot of scrubbing. Just make sure when you're putting it on, I like to go over everything twice. You'll see everything's pretty uniformly covered. And I don't know if it'll show in this lighting, but it's on there really well. Gonna let it sit for 20 minutes. And then once that 20 minutes is passed, we're just either gonna mist on a little bit of glass cleaner, or I like to use Gyeon Prep or whatever coating prep product you have. If you don't have that glass cleaner, it's totally fine. And then we will get on to putting on the coating itself. So we have let the cleanse sit on the windshield for 20 minutes, and now we are going to wipe it down. So I'll just mist on some Gyeon Prep. I have dry wiped this off before, but it can be quite a pain in the butt. So if you moisten it up, it wipes off quite easily. Anywhere that you leave a big pile of product, it can be a little bit harder to wipe, especially if you're trying to do it dry. So using either a glass cleaner or prep is ideal. So once you have properly prepped the windshield, you're going to take one of the suede sheets and your applicator block, wrap it around there, shake up your rappel, and then you're going to apply a liberal amount on the block. And apply it to the windshield. So don't be stingy, get it on there real well. When you hear that squeaking, that is a good sign, because it usually means that the windshield is good and clean. So I like to apply in straight lines and then go over in circles, or vice versa. It doesn't much matter, but a few different directions kind of will work it into the glass. And just make sure that you get it kind of absorbing in, if it does at all. So you can see I'm definitely not taking it easy on the amount I'm putting on there. On my last vehicle, I just redid the windshield on my own personal, and it was with 3 layers of the Gyeon View. I did get 13,000 kilometers out of it, which is pretty good in my book. For me, that's almost a year. So the windshield coating that you can get a year out of, as long as you're not too crazy on the wipers, is pretty good in my books. You should be able to see it going on there. And then the further you go into this process, you can apply a little bit less product to your suede applicator, because it is going to be saturated. So your first few times, you're going to have to put a little bit more on there, but once you get going, the product will be absorbed in, and you can apply a little bit less, but still don't take it too easy on the product unless you want to have to reapply. So the coating is on there, and now you just wait. So just set a timer for 20 minutes, and then come back, and then we're gonna do the exact same thing we just did. So you don't need to wipe it off. Just reapply another layer of the Repel, and then wait another 20 minutes, and then your third coat, wait 20 more minutes, and then wipe it off. So we're gonna set a timer, and we'll come back when it's time. Okay. The product has had 20 minutes to sit on there, so now we're going to take the Repel one more time on the same applicator. And just apply right over top of the old product. And then we will leave it to sit again for another 20 minutes and do the final coat. And now we're going to apply the last coat. So same thing you've already done twice now. And then we're going to wait 20 more minutes, and then we will do the wipe off. So what they recommend is that you just take a microfiber towel. I like to use a glass cleaning towel, so whether it's waffle weave or like a pearl weave microfiber towel, that's usually what I'll use for a wipe off, but I'll show you a little trick when we come back. So now it's time to wipe off. One little trick that I picked up on is if you take your same suede applicator, it should be almost dry by now, maybe just a hint of product left on it, and you use that on the windshield, it makes your wipe up a lot easier. So like when you take your cloth to do the wipe, I don't know if you can see the streaks in there, you should be able to, it will wipe off, but it takes a little bit of elbow grease and it's really easy to leave behind a streak. So if you take this suede applicator. And what I like to do is just go in circles over the whole windshield right before my towel off. And it's kind of a combination between the suede applicator itself and then maybe just a little bit of residual product. Makes all of the larger streaks go away. And then when you finally get to your towel, it is a very easy wipe off with very little chance of leaving streaks behind. Just because with any coating, especially a true glass coating like this, if you do miss a streak, it becomes very hard and will need to be polished away. So best practice is always to give it a really thorough towel off. And I'm gonna go ahead and do the other side, and then I will come back and towel it off one more time just to make sure. So again, there is no product or no new product on this applicator here. I'm just using the evaporated coating and maybe just a tiny little bit of whatever's left on there to make it easier to get off. And then we're going to do our final wipe with the bald wipe towel here. So just pay a little bit of close attention to the edges and the corners, because that's where it's really, really easy to leave a streak. And just give it a really good towel off. I've seen people use glass cleaner in this portion, and I don't think that's a great idea, just because the coating has only had 20 minutes. So do you want to take the chance of taking away the coating you just worked hard to apply just so it's easier to wipe off? I don't think that's the best idea. So what I did there is I used these sides to do the initial wipe off, and I folded to a whole new side of the towel to do the second wipe off. So just making sure there's no streaks, getting everything off that you want off, because it's no fun to do this, pull out in the sun, and then realize that you have to polish your glass. And that's that. So if you don't do these all the time, it's always a good idea just to get out a handheld light and go over the windshield from a bunch of different angles, or get inside your vehicle, pull it outdoors, and just look for streaks, because it's something where it takes an extra 2 minutes, but it'll save you a headache if you have streaks all over it, especially into the corners, because it can be tough to get in there with polish and that kind of thing. So good luck, and windshield coatings are one of my favorite things that we apply. Quite easy to do, but the results are fantastic. Seeing at nighttime while it's raining is a lot easier. I very rarely will use my wipers, and it's because the coating is great and it's easy to apply. So